Black Mirror Bandersnatch is a new one-off Black Mirror episode that came out this weekend. It is described as the first interactive film, and it is interactive. You would have a decision point in the story and you use your control to select a decision tree. Obviously with Black Mirror it's layered and there's lots of sort of meta things in it, and it's very self-knowing. Throughout it you're presented with choices and the characters will sort of refer to the fact you've made a choice in some of the instances, or they will provide you with clues or make little sort of side comments about the nature of choice. There's references throughout it to not actually having any real choice and it just being an illusion. Do you know what? I haven't played it where every single different decision has been made, so I don't know about that. All I know is when I played it, we made the wrong choice a few times and we got thrown back to the beginning, but it never felt as though you were being cheated out of anything or you were being purposely guided anywhere. It felt like a natural decision and it was very enjoyable, if not frustrating, because obviously certain decisions led to certain outcomes. And the story itself will point you in a direction where if you make a wrong choice, you just go back and start from another point where you can make a different decision and see a different outcome. So you're not left unfulfilled with the experience. There's, again, another character makes a reference of Pac-Man, how if you die or make the wrong choice, turn left or right, you just start again, which is what happens. It's littered with references like that, and I'm sure people will have great fun picking the bones out of that. The most important thing though is, was it well written and enjoyable? And the answer is yes. I watched it and I thought, whilst the story was slightly flat, that was intentional because of the nature of the beast you're dealing with. To have choices at certain points, you needed to have the option to choose sort of more mundane routes with things. But it was well made, it was well directed, it was entertaining throughout. Just when you think that you've finished it after say 40 minutes of watching, you're given the option to go back and revisit a decision and you get another 20-30 minutes out of it. So it is a proper hour and a half long show. When you reach the sort of proper final conclusion of the story, you don't have any more options left, and that's when you know you've got to the right point. It's Black Mirror, it's high quality, it's made to a point of sort of obsession where you can tell people have really been involved and interested in making it. The story itself follows a young computer programmer in the 80s, sort of the old ZX Spectrum, Commodore 64 days, where it was a lot of sort of bedroom programmers, and he's trying to convert a sort of fighting fantasy style book into a computer game, and his predecessor went insane and beheaded his wife trying to do so because he got confused about the nature of existence and choice, and he wondered if someone else was controlling him. I won't spoil it because that will be naughty, because there's a funny thing that happens that is totally self-referential, and when you see the choice that it gives you and see where the story's going, it does bring a smile to your face when he tries to decide who it is that might be controlling it. The story's fine, but obviously the main thing about this is the choice. Definitely worth watching if you're interested in sci-fi or new interesting styles of television. Is this the future of film or television? I think there's a potential for this to be used in future. I don't think it's suitable for everything, because you wouldn't have every programme being made with the same level of care and attention as this. I think it will be really good to have these interactive choices on certain styles of programmes and certain styles of film, but it certainly, has to be used sparingly and appropriately. but it is a step forward in changing the way you watch and experience television. I know my wife, she was initially sceptical at first, but then she had the control for the whole decision making process, mostly so I could blame her for any bad decisions. But you know, it's a really interesting and enjoyable way to watch television, and it's certainly better than any sort of novelty ways to watch it, such as 3D and things like that. This is a purposeful and interesting development. So yeah, definitely worth watching Black Mirror Bandersnatch.